Right, okay. Let me share the screen. Right, so that is clear, right, everyone? So to enter into the files or drives, actually your service or software cannot enter into this drive, guys. On behalf of your service or software, one account will enter into the drives and folders. That account is called service account. Means it's an assistant to your software. It will act as an assistant, personal assistant to your software. Is it clear, everyone? What service account will do? If it is clear, then I'll elaborate.
That means that service account will detect the virus.
Correct. On behalf of Avesta, the service account that is associated with Avesta service will log into the each folder, each drive, and it will scan each and every file, and then if it is a virus file, it will mark it as a virus. If we have to delete that account itself will delete that virus file. On behalf of this antivirus software, your service account is doing all these things for your antivirus. So this is called service account. Service account is an account which helps to run the service. If you want definition, that is the definition. Now, let's compare to the SQL Server. So what is the difference for the antivirus and SQL Server? How service account will play a key role in the SQL Server? Guys, SQL Server, what it will do? What SQL Server will do, guys, in the initial, like yesterday morning we discussed. What is the definition of SQL Server? I'm so sorry.
Store the data.
Very good.
Process
Next.
and retrieve the data.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So to store means how it can store. It has to write the data, right? Retrieve means reading. How it can read? It should have access to read the data, right? So to read and write, we should have one account. To read and write the data to the folders and files inside the folders, we should have one account. That account is called service account in the SQL Server. Is it clear? Having any doubts? To read the data from the disk, to write the data to the disk, we will have one account. That account is called service account. On behalf of SQL Server service, this service account will read and write the data from the disk to the disk. Please mute it. Please mute it. Okay. So that is called service account, guys. I'll show you under services.msc. You can see lot of services. Means if you install any software, you can see lot of services under services.msc. Each service will have its own service account, guys. Means for each software, it will have its own assistant, personal assistant, where I can see under services.msc. You install any server, any application, once a service will be created for that application, and these are all the services, okay, that will helpful, I mean, like that are installed in my Windows machine. If you see here, your service is logged in as with this accounts: local service, local system, network service. This logon as field is called service account, guys. See here, or how many services are there here? At least 50 to 70 services. For all these 50 to 70 services, I have 3 accounts. One is local service, second one is local system, third one is network service. See how many services are sharing this work. This one account is controlling, taking care of all these services. This one local system account is taking care of all these services. This one local service is taking care of all the services. Means these service accounts shared the work between the services, guys. Okay, right. So means if any work is there, either local service will work or else local system will work for this service, or local network service will work, right? we can still take help of the service accounts for SQL Server. But guys, almost all 70 to 80 services are there. These 70 to 80 services are depending on three accounts. How much burden will be there? 70 people depending on three people. Three people is acting as a service assistants to 70 people, guys. How much big work it will be? How much work will be there for them? So if you assign again the same service accounts to the SQL Server, your process might be late. Your data processing will be delayed. So I'll have my own personal assistants. That is called customized service account. This is your customized service account, guys. Or you can call it as a virtual service account. NT service slash agent. With for agent service, guys. When you install SQL Server, mainly three services will be installed, and mainly three services. You can see four services, but main services are three. One is agent, database engine is the main service. Next is agent, next is full text, of course this browser services and also will be there. So all these four services, once the installation is completed, four services will be added to the services.msc screen. All the services will depends upon this account. This account is called service account. If you don't want default service account, you can create a customized service account. I'll show you after installation of SQL Server how to create a customized service account. At least, is it clear? Basic idea what service account will do. This account will enter into each and every folder. It will either read the data or write the data, depends upon the requirements from the database engine. Okay guys, is it clear?
Sir, when we create default account, that many services will be
Correct. Default instance. Default instance.
Default instance. Okay.
Even named
when you
instance
create
also.
when you create named instance, we can create that customized service.
Not only default and named, you can give customized service accounts for any instance, either for default or named.
That means if we create customized service account, it will reduce the burden.
Correct. That's why we'll prefer customized service account. We will have our SQL services will have our own service accounts. It won't touch other softwares, so that it will dedicate it to our services, so that data processing and all will be somewhat quick.
In organizations also, they will create only
That's it.
customized service.
Yes, that's what organization practices only we are following.
Yes.
Guys, is it clear? Service account, it's not clear. Okay, just let me know. Very easy. On behalf of your SQL Server, your service account will read the data, write the data, process the data. It has to log into the folders, drives and all to access the data. Okay, so you should have permissions. So that's why we'll create our own service accounts. Okay, to make sure for the better data processing, better data storing, for the better performance, we'll use our own customized service accounts, guys. These service accounts you will get by default. If you want to change it, you can click on the browse option. Click on this drop down, you will get browse option. If account is already created, you can give the account name and you can click on check names, you will get it. I'll show you after installation, guys. In the next class, I'll show you how to create a customized service account. At this stage, we don't need, okay? What is the account, guys? NT service / SQL Server agent, right? Right. For if you choose the customer service account, you don't ask any password. If you choose virtual accounts, okay, don't ask for any password, guys. It will be grayed out. If you choose customized service account, it will ask password. I'll tell you what password you have to give, guys. While discussing customized service account, I'll show you. Okay. Service startup type should be automatic only. Means whenever you start the Windows server, with Windows Server, the services should be started automatically. If you keep it manual, if anyone restarted the Windows Server, again you have to start this agent service manually, which is not good. Okay, that's why keep it automatic. Automatically it will start if anyone restarted the Windows Server. Let's go to collation settings, guys.
Please explain this one.
Which one?
Automatic.
Nothing.
It's
See, automatic means when you restart the Windows server, all the services will start if you keep it as automatic. If you keep it as manual, again you have to start the service manually from services.msc. Okay, if you see here, some services are manual service, right? If you restart the Windows server, these services won't start sometimes. Again, you have to start the service manually. Like that, if you have 2 3 instances, how many times you will do that? It's burden for us, right? Sometimes servers will be rebooted automatically. If you keep it as manual, what is the use? Again, you have to start the service. If you keep it as automatic, yeah, if anyone restarted the Windows server, the service also will be started automatically once the server is online.
okay. So once if we restart the Windows, all the services will get restarted automatically.
Correct, correct. It should be restarted. Why? Because you're restarting. See, if you're restarting your phone means that doesn't mean, I mean that mean you're restarting all your apps. Knowingly or unknowingly, you're restarting your phone means you're restarting all your apps. The same way, if you're restarting Windows server means all the services in the Windows server are going to be restarted. Clear, guys? Chalo. Next is collation settings. This collation settings will help us for the language. This we can call it as a language settings, guys. The default collation settings are SQL Latin 1 General CP1 CIAS. CP1 means code page 1, CI means case insensitive, AS means accent sensitive. This is the default collation settings. If you I don't want English language, I want to store some Chinese language in my database. Go to customize, select Windows collation. Now choose whatever language you want. Chinese you can see. You can see French, you can see Greek, you can see Hungary, you can see Japanese, you can see different languages, but unfortunately 100 crore people, 140 crore people language is not there in this list. Hindi. Okay, I mean, like, at least major people will speak Hindi, right? So we don't see any of the Indian languages here, right? So if you want a separate language to store in the database, of course we will have, like we are maintaining our websites applications in English. Chinese people will maintain their applications in Chinese language, right? Like that, EU countries, European Union countries, they will maintain their websites and all in the French language or Greek language and all. So depends upon the requirements, that data that you are inserting in the tables, the language might be different. If you want to insert any specific language, you can choose any of this language, but 90% we don't use. Okay, uh, customization, we will use this default collation settings only, which is English language, SQL Latin 1. Latin 1 means English came from Latin language, right? That's why SQL Latin 1 General SQL CIAS. So after installation, or sometimes you will get a question, guys. Is it possible to change collation settings after installation? Is it possible, guys? Can we change the collation settings? Right? This is also one assignment for next class. Please Google it and let me know the answer. Okay. I'll see, guys, how you are contributing and all. I'm going to check from day one onwards. Let's see how many people are going to get the answers. Right. This is the important screen. After this, the installation will be started, guys. Just bear with me for 10 to 15. 10 minutes is enough. Authentication mode, Windows authentication, mixed mode authentication. This will be explained in the security concept. As of now, you can choose any of the authentication. If you choose mixed mode authentication, it will ask username and password for extra account, SA account. Okay. Let's go with Windows authentication. This authentication we can change after installation also. If you installed with Windows authentication, later you can change it to SQL Server authentication or mixed mode authentication. But it needs restart of the SQL Server. That's it. Chalo. Now I am installing SQL Server, right? Who can able to access my SQL Server? Is everyone, those who are access to this particular server, Windows server, can connect to SQL Server? Is it possible, guys? Those who are having access to this Windows server, like Windows people will have access to the Windows server. Network team will have access to the Windows server. Storage team will have access to the Windows server. That means, are they going to connect to the SQL server? Guess it. They
No,
cannot connect, guys. If they are able to connect, then there is no security to the SQL server. Even though you might be a company CEO, if I am not giving access to you, you cannot access the SQL server. I have to specifically, explicitly, I have to give access to you. In this list, you will provide who is able to access your server. If you click on add current user, with which account you are accessing Windows server, that account will create one access. So that means this account can access your SQL server. Usually in the organization will add our name, will add our SQL DBA name here so that all the people in the SQL DBA group can able to access. Is it clear, guys? Means if you if you don't provide anyone here, no one can connect to the SQL server. If you don't provide anyone here, usually it won't accept. Go to next without you have to give at least one account. But if you don't give earlier, it is used to accept. But if you don't give one account here, no one is able to connect to the SQL server. Even though you install SQL server, no one is able to connect. But make sure at least one connection is there to the SQL server so that if you go inside the SQL server, he can give access to. I'm not saying if you have to give the names during installation only. After that, you cannot give access and all, nothing like that. At least one person should be there to access the SQL server. Once he is able to connect to the server, he can give access to other people. In the organization, what we will do, we'll add our team name, complete DBA team will be there, DL, distribution list. We'll add our team name, we'll add the other team names if they need access and all. Okay, so like this, we are going to add the organization. Data directories, a lot of files will be created, guys. Data files, log files, and all will be created once you install SQL Server. As of now, I have only one drive, that is C drive. So all the files will be installed in the C drive only. Guys, it might be slightly overloaded. Don't think like that. It's very easy. Okay. So all the files will be, as of now, it will be stored inside your C drive. In the organization, I'll store all the data files in one drive, all the log files in another drive, all the backup files in another drive. Like this, I'll maintain separate drives like D drive, F drive, X drive. Like this, I'll maintain separate drives for separate things. I'll show you during clustering. We'll create multiple drives and I'll show you. TempDB is one database which will help you for the processing, data processing and all. I'll explain. There is a separate class on system databases and TempDB will discuss. As of now, automatically it will take the settings. No need to do anything from your side. Keep it as it is. File stream will help you for the video content data like YouTube, AHA, OHO. Okay, what is that? And one more app, Netflix, G5. These kind of video streaming applications, they will use file stream. Large data will be stored under file stream feature. Okay, so that is the use. I don't want to enable this file stream feature. That's it, guys. Next.
That's
Yes, please. Yes.
that server configuration.
What happened to server configuration?
I have one doubt, sir. What is the difference between Windows authentication and mixed
I'll
mode
tell you. I
authentication?
already told you that I'll tell you in the during the security concept. Now you cannot understand what is the difference. During that, I'll explain what is meant by authentication, what is meant by authorization, what is the difference between these two. Okay, I'll tell you. Nothing to worry, I'll tell you. Any questions, guys, here? Next. That's it, guys. Whatever we have selected, again, you don't understand the GUI. Whatever we have selected till now, all the features will be prepared a query. Your GUI, your installation center, this setup file will prepare a query, guys. Whatever features we have selected till now, it will prepare a setup one query. Once I click on install, that query will be stored in the configuration file, guys. Once I click on install, this configuration file will be called and it will take all the inputs, whatever you selected, whatever names you gave, everything. It will take the inputs from this particular configuration file.ini. Then it will start installing one by one, guys. Chalo, let's install the SQL Server, which will take 15 minutes for the first time installation. Depends upon your server speed. That's it, guys. Any questions? I know uh, it's slightly okay overloaded, okay, but it's not difficult, it's very easy. As I am trying to explain each and every option, it might okay give you some extra burden on your brain, so but it's very simple. Go through the recordings again. I can complete the installation in 5 minutes, but without knowing the option, the meaning of each option, what is the use of installing SQL Server, right? So that's why we explained completely in a detailed way. So please practice it. Please go through the recordings again so that you will get an idea. It will take 10 to 15 minutes, guys. If you want, you can stay, and no more demo sessions and all, as the things are not finalized. That's why I took the class now. There are no more demo sessions. Everyone has to confirm in 1 or 2 days. Those who confirmed, for them only I'll send a meeting link for the next class, which will be there on the next Saturday. Okay, and this is only, again I'm saying, this is only for SQL DBA. Azure SQL DBA, if you are expecting, I'm so sorry for that, because of limited students, I cannot process that deal, SQL DBA and Azure SQL DBA. Okay, so this session I'll completely discuss about the SQL DBA as promised, that 1.5 month. If you want Azure SQL DBA training, I'll directly map you to the particular Azure SQL DBA trainer. So the financial part and all you can discuss with him. That we can sort it out the WhatsApp, guys, or you can call to me. We'll discuss. But I cannot proceed with the SQL DB and Azure SQL DB. As discussed, you can see right now I can see 12 participants. Okay, so it's very difficult. Okay, I can't get anything again if I go for a SQL DB and Azure SQL DB deal. So that's why I explained the same thing to you guys. Thank you for understanding. Okay, so let's proceed, guys. If you want, you can stay, you can ask questions. I'll be there till the installation is completed. Guys, once the installation is done, you have to shut down the server like this. Okay, click on this Windows button, power button, shut down. Okay, now you are using your own server, right? So you can shut down. This is your local server. You can shut down. In the organization, don't shut down. Okay, just to make sure things are properly closing, you have to shut down the server. In your practice, in the organization, don't shut down the server. It should be up and running, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. It should be, the server should be up and running 24/7. Yes, please. Any questions?
Sir, I have one
Yes, yes,
question.
yes, yes.
Now, as you are DBA, now you are working from home now, sir.
Mm-hmm.
How you are going to, whether you will shut down or sign off or log out, like that, any option?
I'll tell you. Okay, there is a separate class on shutdown, log off. What is the difference between disconnect? I'll tell you.
Okay,
There I'll explain. Okay. Usually I don't shut down the server. I'll log off from the server.
okay,
Okay, I'll log off from the server so that again, if there is a work, I'll connect to the server. If there is no work, I will log off from the server. I cannot shut down it. Once you logged off, automatically all the things will be closed. What happened? Click yes to exit the SQL Server setup installation. Is that if you exit the setup, you must undo your last SQL Server setup action before running. Click no to continue the SQL Server setup. What happened? Anything is missing or what? is taking so much time. It can't take. Actually, this file will proceed. Whatever pending videos are there till now, okay, up to this video will be uploaded by tomorrow, guys. Okay, please watch those videos in the YouTube channel so that you don't miss anything. Guys, any suggestions, please? Always welcome. Any suggestions? Classes are going too fast, too slow, too boring, too technical, too overloaded. Only installation you will feel like it, remaining classes and all. Why? Because lot of things we have to discuss right during installation. So that's why you might feel something okay heavy, but other topics won't be like that. Nothing to worry. Thank you, sir. Will this class will be uploaded by tomorrow? I want to go through this. Yes, Priyanka, it will be uploaded by tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Done, guys. Okay, so once it is completed, it is showing one or more affected files having operating system pending. You must restart. Means, as I discussed earlier, once SQL Server, before installing SQL Server, after installing SQL Server, you have to restart the Windows Server, guys. Okay, right now, if you see here, make sure all the components are successfully installed or not. You have to check each and every component. Maximize this window, check every component, whether every component, especially this database engine, is successfully installed or not. If it was not installed successfully, guys, again you have to install the SQL Server. You see here all the components are successfully installed, so the installation is succeeded, guys. Okay, let's close this, and you can see the folders are created with the MS SQL Server and all. We'll discuss all these folders in the next class, services and all. Let me close this, that is Internet Explorer. Once it was closed, then again new SQL Server installation will be highlighted, guys. Then again you can start installing one more instance. This is how we can install the SQL Server, guys. So if any questions are there, let me know. Otherwise, we are good to close the session, and we'll meet on next Saturday morning 7 a.m.
Sir, after shutting down or disconnect, we need to stop virtual machine also.
No, automatically it will stop. Okay, so now let me show you, as it is an help is completed, right? Now I'm going to shut down the server. Only during practice you have to shut down, guys. Not during your, okay, in the organization, don't do this. Once this is completed, your remote desktop connection will be closed and your Oracle VirtualBox will be stopped, guys. You see here running, right? It will be stopped. You can see powered off. Some people will directly close the server. Don't do that. It will be corrupted. Directly closing the server will corrupt your machine, guys. It is still stopping. That's it, guys. Any questions you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll meet on next Saturday 7 a.m. It will stop, guys. It will take some time. Okay, then it will stop. Yeah, you can see here powered off. Okay, this is how it will work. Then you can close the right VirtualBox manager. Yes, guys. Okay, that's it, guys. Any questions you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll connect on Saturday 7 a.m. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.